So we all know that this video was inevitable. So the Modern Warfare 2022 beta was roughly about 2 to 3 weeks ago and it's now finished. And I have to say I'm pretty disappointed with the game. Now if you played Modern Warfare 2019 and you hated that game, there is literally no reason for you to purchase this game because it's just gonna be 2 years worth of a flop because it'll be the only COD game that'll be released for the next 2 years. You're in for a ride if you do want to buy this game. And there is one main outlying reason that I believe this game will eventually flop. And who knows, it might just flop on release, which I fucking hope so. Despite being on the same game engine as Modern Warfare 2019, the overall game feels a lot slower and clunkier, which I'm not even sure how they managed to do. Like, running feels slower and clunkier, like double sprinting, whatever you want to call it, tactical sprint even, feels slower and clunkier, jumping feels slower, sliding feels slower, like climbing stuff feels slower. And they've also gone ahead and gotten rid of the slide cancel, which personally it's not too much of a problem for me, but it is pretty annoying when you're sliding your mouth onto someone's barrel and you can't do fuck all about it. Yeah, it gets annoying. Some big points that the overall community wants changed in this game is number one, the mini-maps and also the perk situation. For those that don't know or just don't remember from 2019, they decided to make the change of not having mini-maps show red dots when you shoot without a suppressor, which has been the norm for ever, I'm pretty sure. Like, you've always been able to see red dots when people don't shoot with suppressors, therefore pretty much making suppressors obsolete in the game. But for those that didn't know, they didn't show in 2019 and they're not showing in this game either, and they've publicly shown that they don't care about the feedback. They're listening to the feedback, but they're not doing anything about it, despite hundreds of thousands of people actively showing that they want the minimaps back to the traditional. And they're simply just not going to do fuck all about it. And now onto the perk situation. The whole system is dog shit. Pure fucking dog shit. Why change something that isn't broke? You did not make it better or more enjoyable for people, you simply just made it more irritating. It's not fun. Stop changing what didn't need to be fixed. So the perk system in this game, or as it's now known as a perk package, you get to choose 2 basic perks of your own to start the game with, and then you get an upgraded perk and then you get your ultimate perk, which it would be a cool idea if the game wasn't nearly fucking over by the time you got your ultimate perk. What is the point? Like, literally, if you're like someone that plays TDM a lot, chances are there'll only be like 15 to 20 kills left in the game by the time you get your ultimate perk. If you're playing domination, fair enough, you might get it before, you know, the 100-point mark, or else they might drag it out to be pretty much the same. The game might be nearly over and then you'll get your ultimate perk. To be honest with you, I only played TDM, so I didn't really time it personally, and I didn't really care to because I don't plan on buying this game. Majority of the time, by the time the game is actually finished, then you get your perks, and it just makes the whole system obsolete because you get like a minute or 2 using the ultimate perk. Whereas in previous CODs, you get your 3 perks, select what you want, and you just play with them. Now you get 2 perks and you'd be lucky if you get your 4th. Dead Silence is also still not a perk again this year. It is a specialist or the whatever the fuck they call them, and I don't see a point. It just makes the design on that makes the game a much more campier game, and no, nothing's gonna change my opinion on that. It should be a perk, full stop. But safe to say, most people with a brain would say that this perk system is dog shit and needs to be changed, and I can't see Infinity Ward changing this, just like they won't change the minimaps. From what I'm hearing as well, apparently Infinity Ward are hearing and listening to the feedback on Warzone 2, and they're actually going ahead and changing, you know, some problems that people are having with it. But when it comes to multiplayer feedback, they'll listen, they'll say hello, but then they'll say fuck you. So what was the point of even listening to the feedback if you're not going to do anything about it? you know, it's kind of just like having this game mode, saying here, jump into that. We're not gonna touch it. Users are just gonna be pissed off the entire time. This is why I fucking hate Warzone. COD, like, it just, everything's pushed into Warzone, and it's just nothing else is being shown love. Another problem a lot of people, including myself, are having is the UI in the game. Now, if you don't know, they've just completely redone the UI, from trying to find a game that you want to play or a game mode you want to play, from going to your settings. Like, if you press the options button on your controller, you then have to press R1 twice just to get to the actual settings button. Why make it so long and difficult just to change your fucking sensitivity? I don't know why. You could have just made it just bang, press pause and there's your settings. Simple, I know, isn't it? It's fucking mental what I can come up with. The create a class UI is also a pain in the ass. Actually trying to create a class can be annoying. For some reason it's square to actually customize the weapon instead of just clicking on the weapon and clicking customize. I don't know why you have to change that, that's very annoying. And if you have multiple classes actually created, by the time you scroll to your last class, you end up forgetting where the class that you want to use is, so you scroll back to that. By that time half the game's already finished and you've missed out on your perks. So it's safe to say the UI needs to be fucking updated because it's dog shit. Dog shit. The create a class system has also been changed to a pick 5 system. Now this wouldn't be too much of a problem for me if the game didn't give you 1,000 different options of attachments and multiple slots to put attachments onto on your gun. Like, the whole design concept is just autistic as shit. Why give us so much but yet not let us use all of what you give us? Not to mention, all the attachments are gonna be obsolete because everybody just uses the same shit every game, every year. They find out one video and they're like, oh, this gun's OP, put this attachment on this gun and that gun and you'll be fucking getting nuclears every game. Yeah, all attachments are just obsolete, bar that one in every category. And now to the main event. Skill-based matchmaking. Who knew that was going to be the main point of the year again? Because I fucking did. I didn't like it in the last few years and absolutely nothing has changed since, and it's safe to say most people don't like it. Now, I'm not saying I want to go into every lobby, every casual multiplayer lobby, finger fucking every opponent I play against. But I also don't want to go into every lobby where I'm playing against the next fucking FaZe or Optic member while I'm casually trying to go for a nice casual camo challenge in a casual multiplayer match. Keyword casual. It's a shock. If they just added a fucking ranked mode along with a casual mode, took a skill-based matchmaking out of casual, or at least tone it down to what you claim to have been in like the old Black Ops CODs and all that, maybe people would actually enjoy the game and stop complaining about skill-based matchmaking, but just won't. They always say they bring in this skill-based matchmaking to cater towards the newer players, but that just, the design of the game just leads to these newer players playing in a campy playstyle. And every game I played, there were always campers on my team and on the opposition team. This skill-based matchmaking doesn't work, and I don't know how they don't see that. The design of the game doesn't help in the slightest. Footsteps are too fucking leveled. The mini-maps, obviously without the fucking red dots when you fire, aren't there, which are like, that's a heaven for a camper, especially if they want to not use a silencer. And dead silence is literally obsolete. It's pointless. It runs out too quickly, it's not a perk, and even then your footsteps, I'm pretty sure I've used dead silence before and people have still heard me come around the corner. You must have one good fucking gaming chair if you can hear me with dead silence. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's funny, you know, all the CODs before Modern Warfare 2019, when skill-based matchmaking was introduced as heavily as it is, nobody complained about needing skill-based matchmaking in the games at all. And now that skill-based matchmaking has been introduced in the COD the way it is, everybody's just talking about it, everybody's complaining about it, nobody wants it. Yet the developers don't care. And the best thing about it is, we can't do absolutely anything about it. As long as the developers' pockets are lined with money, at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just a cash grab, in my opinion. Skill-based matchmaking is going to bring in these newer players. They're going to stay till the end, spend all their money on the fucking store bollocks, fucking camos and all that shit in the fucking store. It's just pointless. Now, in my opinion, this game won't flop in terms of the money it'll generate, because trust me, not only are a lot of people going to buy the game itself, but a lot of people are just like Modern Warfare 2019 and all other CODs with, you know, microtransactions. They're going to feed in and buy COD points and buy all these things. It's, you know, financially, this game's probably going to do phenomenally. But as a game itself, I believe the game will flop, and it's not going to be remembered as a great game, or it's not going to be remembered as a game that people found enjoyable to play. And a big part of that is because of skill-based matchmaking, along with, you know, the other things I mentioned. But skill-based matchmaking is definitely going to be a big reason as to why this game will flop overall. So that's it for this video. That's the reason I believe this game will flop. And it will flop. And if it doesn't, well, I don't know what I'll do. I don't really know how you can judge whether a game's flopped or not. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like, and why not subscribe, and why not share amongst your friends, presuming you have any. Probably a bit mean, but anyway, if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like, sub, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.